Edge at 11 starts now.
Tonight on The Edge, President Donald Trump is taking a hard look at potential pardons for the men convicted in the 2020 kidnapping plot of Governor Whitmer.
So the president says the trial, which ended with 2 convictions and 2 guilty pleas, was not handled correctly. Fox News' Jessica Dubnak explains.
Dropped it during a press conference at the Oval Office after a reporter asked, saying, quote, "I'll take a look at it," referring to those federal charges. Take a listen.
I did watch the trial. It looked to me like somewhat of a railroad job. I'll be honest with you. It looked to me like some people said some stupid things. You know, they were drinking, and I think they said stupid things. But I'll take a look at that. And a lot of people are asking me that question from both sides, actually. A lot of people think they got railroaded.
This didn't come out of nowhere. The new appointee in charge of reviewing presidential pardon cases with the Department of Justice said he was already looking at the federal cases against Barry Croft Jr. and Adam Fox, both convicted and sentenced on conspiracy charges for a foiled plot to kidnap Governor Whitmer at a vacation home up north, which they allegedly cased. The plot in response to pandemic lockdown rules. Croft Jr. sentenced to 19 years in prison and Fox 16 years.
The pardon power is the most sort of kingly of all the powers that the president has.
When you Google experts in presidential pardon, Brian Cult's name comes up, literally, a professor of law with Michigan State University.
The process is really just the president signs a piece of paper and the person is pardoned.
It usually comes with a recommendation from the Office of the Pardon Attorney.
There is a pattern emerging where President Trump is pardoning people who he perceives as being a victim of politically motivated prosecutions.
For example, people pardoned for their role in the January 6th riot at the Capitol. There were 7 other men affiliated with the group Wolverine Watchmen that pleaded guilty or were convicted on charges connected to the governor's kidnapping plot. Those were state charges, so they would not be eligible for a pardon.
The run-of-the-mill pardons are guilty people who are being forgiven, but the president still does have that power to use it to say, you did nothing wrong.
The attorneys for Croft Jr. and Fox said no comment when we called them on Wednesday, saying it's just too early to say anything. Jessica Dubnak on The Edge.
Meanwhile, Governor Gretchen Whitmer and other state leaders are gathering on Mackinac Island for the annual Mackinac Policy Conference.
And in attendance, our very own Roop Raj, and he has more tonight from the Grand Hotel.
Hey everyone, coming to you from the Grand Hotel. Yeah, at dark, it's actually kind of after hours. The hallways here are a little more empty because so many people are resting up and getting ready for tomorrow. And we're really excited at Fox 2 to be a part of the policy conference, as I've been invited to host one of the big panels they're doing tomorrow at 11 a.m. on Thursday. And it's going to be talking about uncertainty. And that's something that a lot of people are talking about at this conference. Whether you like President Trump and his policies or not, you know there are a lot of uncertainties that have come up because of some of his policies. And because of that, there's a lot of discussion from the business community to the media and also politicians about how to navigate the future. But one big thing they're navigating right now is how to navigate the future of Michigan. Who will help shape that? You have an open governor's seat, you have an open Senate seat, and you have an open mayoral seat in Detroit and so many other races. We're going to be talking to some of the movers and shakers, including the governor, Senator Alyssa Slotkin, and Attorney General Dana Nessel, as well as some big Republican heavyweights, consultants, and Speaker Matt Hall, all coming up on Thursday. Reporting from the Mackinac Policy Conference, this is Roop Raj. Now back to you.
All right, great job out there so far, Roop. We look forward to your reports. And talking about the weather now, here, at least downstate, you can expect some cool and damp conditions tonight.
It was raining out when I went to go get some dinner. Things are improving heading to the weekend, though. Weather Authority Rich Luderman has a look at our forecast. Rich.
Brandon, Taryn, we do need some rain from time to time, and we did get some today with some drizzle and sprinkles. We got some showers this evening. It's all in association with a weak system moving north through the Great Lakes. Now, there's still a few areas of fog and drizzle out there, but most of the wet weather has lifted to the north. north. There it is up there in mid-Michigan, especially. Live pictures right now in Southfield. You can see it looks kind of soupy out there, especially on the horizon with some of those reduced visibilities. Now, this is an interesting map. With all the clouds, we topped out at 61 today, although the weather was pretty good inside Comerica Park for the Tigers game. Look at Newberry, 77 degrees. That's the power of the late May sun. Sudbury, Ontario, 77 degrees with that sunshine. 61 and 56, your high and your low. There's your rain total at Metro Airport, about 1/10 of an inch for a lot of us. Right now, it is cool and clammy out there. Most of us in the low to mid 50s. Not a lot of wind out there, but notice the visibility showing some spots that have the fog around Adrian and Ann Arbor. There's Howell, 2-mile visibility, 4 miles for Lapeer and Port Huron. So a lot of green on the map. There's no big warm up coming for the next few days, but next week, we do have a nice warm-up to show you in the 7-day forecast. This system is weakening as it moves off to the north and east. Tomorrow and Friday will be mostly dry days. Could be a shower chance next couple days, but the weekend ahead looks nice. You'll see it in the 7-day again. Areas of fog and drizzle down to 53. Tomorrow's not a bad day. Mostly cloudy, milder up near 70 degrees with a stray shower chance. And again on Friday. Saturday will be breezy with sun and clouds. And then the warm-up starts Sunday. Look at next week, middle 80s for Tuesday and Wednesday. Another check at 4 a.m. Taryn, back to you.
All right, thanks, Rick. New details in the crash that killed an innocent driver in Warren last weekend. 33-year-old Anthony Greer is charged in connection to the deadly police chase that killed Wendy Drew, a 71-year-old mother and grandmother. Investigators say during an attempted traffic stop, dash cam video shows Greer taking off, reaching speeds up to 100 miles an hour. After driving on sidewalks and weaving through traffic, Greer allegedly plowed into Drew at the intersection of Van Dyke and 9 Mile. And now questions are being raised on whether the pursuit should have been called off.
There are some things that we have to look at. We have to, there are some conditions with respect to decisions with speed and things like that that we have to look at.
Now, Greer faces several charges, including second-degree murder. The 2 officers who initiated the pursuit are on paid leave right now. Well, newly released Bodycam video showing the moment and the moments that a Farmington Hills police officer saves a man's life.
So it looked like a car just sitting in the road with blaring music. Turned out to be a life or death situation.
547, he's coming to you.
So police discovered the driver unconscious, parked in the middle of the 13-mile in Middlebelt Sunday morning. So after multiple failed window knocks, the officer opened the door and tried chest rubs.
Were ineffective, and they knew that there was something medical, potentially medical related going on. Our officers are all trained on the symptoms of a drug overdose, and they believe that that was the case.
So you see the officer administered Narcan, helping to wake the driver who was arrested for driving under the influence. Police remind drivers that if you are impaired, you should always use a ride-sharing service or have a designated driver.
Novi is bustling with different shopping areas, restaurants, and the Suburban Collection Showplace.
And the developer who owns the convention center has big plans for the area across the street to the tune of $270 million. But as Fox News' Dave Kinchin explains, some people are worried that more money could mean more problems.
It gets pretty chaotic in the morning when there's like too much traffic, rush hour traffic.
That's the situation now around Grand River Avenue and Beck Road, along with other parts of Novi. But with a brand new $270 million development targeted for space across from the Suburban Collection Showplace, some fear the congestion might worsen.
I would believe it's going to add a little more traffic to it, definitely. But yeah, I mean, growth-wise, yeah, city is growing.
The owner of the Showplace Convention Center is launching a large redevelopment proposal called Novi City West with the goal of reimagining Grand River. Planners say it will include a new Cambria Convention Hotel, lots of new homes, and an entertainment district offering dining, nightlife, and new green space, all designed to be integrated with the Showplace.
This has been in the plans for Novi for about 8 years as part of our master plan process.
Novi Mayor Justin Fisher says the proposed development is in an area recently rezoned from an industrial format. We asked about the concerns of more traffic.
Every time we look at a development, obviously the infrastructure, not just traffic, but water, sewer, police, fire, are always big concerns, and we take them very seriously.
The Showplace owner and project developer tells Fox 2 there's been an extensive 8-year process of public hearings and planning that the city of Novi went through to develop the City West ordinance, and that community concerns were addressed in that process. A statement reads, in part, from a public safety standpoint, this will be a major improvement by way of a controlled connection all the way from Beck Road through to Grand River for all the new developments on the south side of Grand River. The biggest aspect of the traffic improvement in this project will be connecting the Collector Road on the north side of Grand River all the way through to Beck Road, which will allow Showplace traffic and the new development traffic to access Beck Road with immediate departure onto East and West 96 without ever entering onto Grand River or impacting the intersection of Grand River and Beck Road. There's still several checkpoints in this process before this plan does come to fruition. We'll keep you updated along the way. In Novi, Dave Kinchin on the Edge.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How y'all feel?
Well, Detroit Police Chief Todd Pettison getting a good warm-up in the community for a walk a mile Wednesday on the city's west side. The chief and other officers with the 10th precinct had a chance to really connect with residents who can share their concerns or just have a little chat.
Just look at the output. It's growing bigger and bigger, and the community reached out, and they want me to do it every Wednesday, and so right now it's been every other Wednesday, but weather permitting, and it's not even a sunny day, and it might rain, but look at the crowd here. And so I'm actually surprised with everybody who came out today, but it's going to get bigger and bigger, and so in your neighborhood, know that I'm coming to where you are as well.
Chief Pettison is following in the footsteps of former police chief James White, who started the tradition 4 years ago.